Hello everybody and welcome back to Shadow Empire, where we are playing as the Salic Federation. Last episode we continued our pacification of our frontier regions. We're planning for, we're trying to pacify some areas that have been kind of left to the wild here for a bit. We're securing our borders around here. We've secured our northwestern area. We've even got an ally over here, our protectorate. We're shifting all the militia forces that we're dealing with the frontier all the way over to the border with Brunmark, where we will go to war with them fairly soon. We've got a lot to deal with, so it's going to be a big fight. Our northeastern areas are a little bit less secure, but it's being worked on. So yeah, that's kind of where we're at right now. Down south, where our newly established southern border is, we're dealing with there's some potential stuff that we might have to deal with these guys. The Hoystat, I'm not sure how to pronounce that. They think we're going to go to war with them. We weren't really planning on it yet, but yeah, that's kind of a problem. But yeah, that's kind of the update of what's going on in the area. We're still trying to overcome our shortage of metal and various other things. Torona's almost got its demineralization facility up and running. It's got 2-3 turns left before that's up. We've got a new metal mine down south here. I'm going to go ahead and upgrade this one so that we get 2 level 2 mines. That will be very helpful. We're doing fairly well. We have a very large country in terms of our general pop. One thing I want to check stats wise, what is our victory score? There should be a victory score. Yeah, victory score. We're white, so we're up here. Our stats over here. Okay, we're looking to go toward Brunmark, who's blue down here. And it looks like this republic is out of the game. Maybe. Not sure. Culture level, admin level, tech level. Our manpower is going up. Zone hunger's been good. Zone happiness is good. Zone populace. Yeah, it's going up. So that's good. Troops. Green troops are slowly going up. We need to increase that. It's our average morale. 92. It's not bad. Hunger's going down. It's good. Militia percentage is still fairly high, and experiences remain fairly steady. Okay. Yeah, our militia percentage jumped up, but that's probably because of our recent acquisitions, so yeah. And manpower. Total manpower's 1.8 million. Not bad. We got a fairly high population. Our workers fairly low. What is this? Is this free folk? I think this is free folk. Yeah, free folk. So we need to up our free folk, or we need to lower our free folk, get them into the cities, get them working. Increase our industries and stuff like that, employ more people. Ooh, hit my microphone, because I always do that, damn it. Okay. So yeah, there's not a lot else for us to really do this turn. We've shifted everything, moved everything, set a lot of stuff to build. So yeah, let's go to the next turn. Going back to the previous topic that I started last episode, because I ran out of other things to talk about. My dislike of 5th edition. When I say dislike of 5th edition D&D, I mean that it's hard to balance for. It's hard to make fun in the later levels. You've really got to... It takes a lot more effort than other games in a lot of ways, which, I mean, I don't know. I think it would be great if they released like a D&D 5.5 and they kind of rebalanced the monster CR, like CR levels or just something. Like, they need to rebalance things, because at a certain point it's like, okay, a good example. And some of this is just like, some player builds or some things they roll can be difficult to account for. But like right now in my D&D party that I am running a game for, they have a barbarian who most monsters physically can't hit. What I mean by that is he has, I think, a 23 AC, an AC of 23 or 22, something like that. He's got some ridiculous AC, because he wanted to build himself as a tank, and he succeeded. But he's also, like, because of the way the barbarians work, he's also like super deadly in close combat, to the point where it's like legitimately hard to fight him at all. His only weakness is psychic damage and wisdom saving throws, which are funny enough very rare things in D&D 5th Ed monsters. Now, I have a little bit of help in the fact that I also use a rule book or a monster manual, like a fan or a supplement, like a non-official one, 5th edition Foes by Frog God Games. Those guys, like that book is saved my skin so many times. And it's very interesting monsters. You got that. We've got just a lot of various things. Like, we've got a lot of problems when it comes to like balance. And the other big one is the fact that like there are just a lot of things that players just don't use because it's not optimal anymore. That barbarian can do things like speak to trees and animals and stuff. He's barely used it. Our ranger has almost never used his spells. He just hunter's mark, and that's it. That's his majority thing. Which, I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. But it just means that like it's not well built, because you should be using all the tools in your repertoire as much as you can, instead of just relying on some tried and tested things. You should be like experimenting, using things more. Funny enough, that's my problem with Pathfinder 2nd edition, is the fact that there is an optimal action. Like there's an optimal number of actions you should take every round as a character, and if you deviate from that, you are directly punished in your effectiveness to the rest of the party. I think there's been a couple of YouTubers, like roleplay game YouTubers from that portion of YouTube that have like gone out and talked about this, to the point where they've like provided examples, like shown mock combats where if you don't do your optimal moveset, you cut your damage output down like 90% or some ridiculous number, and you're no longer helping as much other people. It's just like I don't know. I've been finding myself enjoying more different games. Like, I've been looking at other games to find enjoyment for like GMing, and I haven't got a chance to run them yet because a couple of them haven't come out yet, and the other ones I haven't like actually. We have to finish our D&D game because I'm not going to end a D&D campaign in the middle of the campaign. That's just wrong. Like, you finish that. Or I'm going to try to, at least, unless my players die this week. But seriously, it's like what was the games I'm looking at? Like I'm looking at things like Warhammer roleplay, like Warhammer Second Edition, like Warhammer Fantasy, the role-playing game Second Edition. That looks really great. I love the flow of that. It looks amazing. It looks fun. I want to play that. I want to run that. You got that. You got Jovian Chronicles, a really cool old school like 90s mecha anime feel game. I want to try that. You got Lancer is actually kind of cool and an interesting system. What was the other thing that I was looking at that looked pretty cool? You got Lancer, you got that. This one isn't out yet, but I have the alpha for it. But Twilight 2000 is kind of like a cool, like post-apocalyptic survival game that is going to be interesting. It's like just a lot of those games that I find far more mentally interesting than I do D&D and Pathfinder, because I don't know, it makes it a lot easier to just run a game. Has violated our borders, declare war on us. Okay, it's bound to happen eventually. Alright. Well, let's check this. Incident with Democratic activists. Where's actions for right now? Spies. Trade faction. They violated our borders, did they? Did they? They thought they could violate our borders? Well, they probably can. This is gonna kind of suck because we're out of position. We knew it was coming, but we didn't have anything prepared, and we need to workshop some ammunition. Okay, 3,000 should do it. Construct air base. Get that going. All right, set up a strong forward position there. Get an air attack going. Try to knock out the last of these guys. Alright, come on. They retreated. Okay, we'll deal with them later. Okay, we're going to hold off on fighting those guys. Strategic move. Can we get down here? We can get down most of the way to Rona. Okay, we got that. We just need boots on the ground down there. Okay. $2.6 to 1. That's not looking good. Okay. We can move the fourth motorized out of position. Can strategically move the HQ at least down there. Then the rest of them, we'll just have to get down there quickly. Get you down there, group move. We're just going to move the militia forces back down there. Got that set up. We got more forces coming up. We got to defend this metal mine. We got this over here. $3.4 to 1. Where is our reconnaissance plane? Air recon, see what we got. Is it just one? No, it's not just one. Two, okay. So does that unknown make it a bit easier? 3.4 to 1. Give it a shot. Okay. So we got that. Good. So then we come down through here. We might just attack these guys to get the northern border cleared. Creates another war for us, but clears out some things. Okay, and they'll start spreading up on that border. Okay. Do we want to raise a brigade? RPG brigade, light infantry brigade. Got enough for a siege infantry brigade. Trade, can we buy metal? 400. Plenty of that. Get some more machines. Okay, 700. So let's see. Get another motorized. Let's see, we got stratagems. Let's see if we can pick up like a mother load. Do we have that? Got a treasure hoard, which gives us D400 or 4 D100 metals, 8 D100 and 2 D100. So that's what the treasure hoard gives us. High-tech vault, gives machines, rare metals, high-tech parts. So treasure hoard, we'll go with that. 200 metals, decent amount of fuel, and some rare. That's not bad. Let's see, nation. Let's do an ancient depot, see what we get. So we got found anti-grad lifter, warrior android, and gravitronic collector. Okay. what is the gravitronic collector? Be a zone stratagem, wouldn't it? Is that the energy production one? It is the energy production one. We'll put that in the capital. Okay. So that'll just produce energy. Should produce quite a bit as well since it uses gravity, so it should transfer fairly one-to-one. Okay. Well, let's go to the next turn, see what they do against us here. Fingers crossed, guys. I don't know how many cities they even have. I think they got one, maybe two. Back to the topic at hand. But yeah, I found a lot of other games that I've been looking into that I want to play more than D&D, Pathfinder. You know, the standard kind of games you'd expect whenever somebody says, "Oh, I play role-playing games." I hit my microphone again. That I play role-playing games, just odd games, small kind of newer titles, newer ideas. Funny thing is, Lancer's actually got pretty cool like integration for playing online, because it has like its own website that you can go to make, like, it's got everything to build a character and all that. Like, it's all there. It's actually honestly pretty cool. I like the idea a lot. That's I wish other games had that, because you don't even have to pay for it. That's the cool part. So yeah, Lancer's interesting. I'd love to give that a shot. Maybe GM a game or two of that. Yeah. I've also been thinking about possibly doing some, like, once the pandemic starts not being a thing anymore, which, fingers crossed. I mean, vaccines are starting to go out a bit more so. I mean, my father's actually getting his this next Tuesday, so I'm hoping that they become a bit more available for like people like me at some point. But we'll see. We shall see. But yeah, I'm hoping once the pandemic starts to become less of a thing, once people start getting their vaccines, it's a bit safer too. Kind of want to do some in-person GMing at some point. That's a big thing I've never really done. So we'll see. I mean, I have a friend who wants to get into role-playing games and stuff, and he's asked me the possibility of running a game in person. That was a couple months back before the lockdowns really started. I mean, before a lot of things really started hitting. So I'm hoping he's still interested in that. And that would be actually a pretty cool use of the 3D printer that I'm planning on picking up soon, because then I could just print out terrain in 28mm, which means I can reuse that for things like medieval medieval tabletop war games, stuff like that. So that would be a nice kind of dual usage there. But yeah. Definitely want to try out a couple of different games now. the Warhammer Fantasy one, I think we're planning on doing that next after D&D finishes. And we've got probably, I don't know, maybe it's not too far off. We're not too far off from the end point of the campaign, depending on how fast my players go. So, I mean, we're at a point where I'm fairly certain we're set on the next game we'll play is Warhammer Fantasy 2nd Edition. Go through that. Thinking maybe like a 10-session like campaign, like a 10-session mini campaign. Pretty self-contained. And then once we get through that, and that's probably, that's 2.5 months, maybe a 3 month, maybe we'll go for 3 months or something like that. Enough to the point where we can go ahead and play Twilight 2000, which is the plan once we get through Warhammer. That's our plan. I don't really want to do like big multi-year campaigns for a while, because I mean I've just I've been playing D&D this in my campaign world for so long that I just want to be able to try different things, try out new ideas. We'll see if that how that goes, and hopefully, given the fact that I have pre-ordered Starlink, that by the time we start the new campaigns up, I'll have Starlink and I'll be able to live stream my point of view from the beginning. That'd be kind of cool. But that's, that's the dream, that's the plan. Whether or not I can do it is another story. Okay, poor attack on that. On those guys' part. I think we're at the end of this turn, because those are all non-aligned forces that just did all their attacking. Which means once this turns up, we'll be ending the episode because of our time. Okay. Killed 600 infantry, 400 walkers, and only lost 200. Good trades. Alright. Decade of Revolution. Heavy industry's been finished. Light mechanized armored assault army. Okay. And, shelter. Got some credits. Admin levels been increased. Cool. Alright. So we've got that, and now we just got to push out our zone of control against these guys and build up our reserve for the eventual attack into their territory. Maybe take territory, take a favorable position. It does look like they only have 2 cities from what I can see, so that's going to be a quick war if we have to fight it. They do have anti-aircraft though, and missiles, so I wonder if they are at war with these guys. We'll have to see. Either way, looking at the time, we're going to have to end the episode there. So, thank you for joining me for this episode. If you'd like to, please leave a comment down below. Hit that like button. If you want to support the channel, subscribe button down below, as well as take a look at the description down below where I have links to my Discord and my Patreon page. I'll see all of you in the next episode. Bye.